Gen Z expectations in a fast-changing digital world. We live in a world that is evolving faster than ever, digitally, socially, and economically. And right at the center of this whirlwind stands Gen Z, the generation born between the mid-1990s and early 2010s. This is the first generation that doesn't know a world without the internet, smartphones, and social media. For them, digital is not a tool, it is oxygen. But beyond technology, Gen Z has a unique worldview shaped by global crises, diversity movements, climate awareness, and mental health conversations. So, what does Gen Z expect from the world around them? Let's explore. Key. Flexibility is freedom. Unlike previous generations that equated success with long hours at school or rigid 9-to-5 jobs, Gen Z values flexibility in both studies and work. They want to decide when, where, and how they work or learn. The pandemic only reinforced this expectation. Remote classes, online internships, and hybrid workplaces are no longer a luxury, they are the norm. For Gen Z, productivity is not about sitting at a desk for hours, but about achieving results while maintaining a balance between personal and professional life. A student in Delhi might attend a coding boot camp at midnight, while a designer in Berlin may work best at 3 a.m. Gen Z wants the world to respect this rhythm. Purpose over paycheck. If millennials started the trend of purpose-driven work, Gen Z is determined to take it further. For them, a job is not just about paying bills, it's about making an impact. They want to work for organizations that align with their values, whether that's sustainability, social justice, or innovation. A survey shows that many Gen Z employees would leave a job if they felt it didn't serve a bigger purpose. They are willing to sacrifice high salaries for meaningful careers where they feel their work contributes to society. In other words, Gen Z seeks not just careers but causes. 3. Mental health is non-negotiable. Perhaps no generation has been as open about mental health as Gen Z. They talk about anxiety, burnout, therapy, and stress without shame. Unlike older generations who often swept such issues under the rug, Gen Z demands that schools, universities, and workplaces prioritize mental well-being. Flexible leave policies, access to counseling, reduced stigma around therapy, these are not perks but basic expectations. Gen Z believes that true success is impossible if one's mental health is ignored. For them, happiness is as important as achievement. Equality and inclusivity everywhere. Gen Z grew up in a world where conversations around gender equality, LGBTQ+ rights, racial justice, and inclusivity became mainstream. They are far less tolerant of discrimination than previous generations. Whether in classrooms, offices, or communities, they expect a culture that welcomes all voices and identities. Representation matters to them, not just as a slogan, but as an active practice. They expect companies to go beyond diversity statements and actually build inclusive environments. Opportunities to innovate. Curiosity and creativity define Gen Z. They don't want to just follow rules, they want to rewrite them. This generation thrives on experimentation, side hustles, and startups. They see failure not as an end, but as a stepping stone. From coding apps in their bedrooms to creating viral content, Gen Z is constantly innovating. What they expect from the world is freedom to test ideas, platforms to showcase talent, and mentors who encourage experimentation. 6. Digital natives with human values. Being digital natives, Gen Z expects everything to be fast, accessible, and online. Shopping, banking, education, even social activism, everything must be available at their fingertips. But paradoxically, they also crave human connection and authenticity. They distrust traditional advertising and prefer authentic storytelling. They are more likely to support influencers who speak genuinely than celebrities who promote products for money. For Gen Z, authenticity is currency. Global citizens, local roots. This is the most globally connected generation in history. A teenager in India may collaborate on a project with peers in Canada while following trends from South Korea and podcasts from the US. Yet, despite this global exposure, Gen Z also values local culture, identity, and community. They want to travel the world but also preserve their heritage. They expect societies to be global in reach but local in respect. Demand for sustainability. Climate change and environmental issues are not distant concepts for Gen Z. They are urgent realities. They expect companies, governments, and individuals to take accountability for the planet. They support eco-friendly products, green technologies, and policies that reduce waste. For them, sustainability is not optional. It is a survival requirement. Entrepreneurial spirit. Gen Z doesn't want to wait for permission to create. Many dream of building startups, launching YouTube channels, or freelancing instead of traditional career paths. Platforms like TikTok, Instagram, and Shopify have shown them that anyone can be a creator or entrepreneur. They expect systems, schools, colleges, governments to support this entrepreneurial mindset by encouraging risk-taking and removing barriers. Let us conclude it by the statement that Gen Z's expectations are reshaping the world. They want flexibility, purpose, inclusivity, innovation, authenticity, and sustainability. But above all, they want a world where they can be true to themselves without compromising mental health, values, or individuality. The fast-changing digital-first society is both a challenge and an opportunity. If institutions, companies, and communities adapt to Gen Z's expectations, the future will not just be technologically advanced, but also more humane, inclusive, and meaningful.